Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am doing a review of the new Lorac Pro 3 palette. So anyway, I was so excited when I saw previews of this palette. I think I saw Tati or Glam Life Guru talking about this a couple months ago, and when I saw it I was so excited. I saw swatches and thought the palette was just beautiful. It's in this very nice nude khaki color with Lorac emblazed on the front. When you open it up, you see the shadows, and in the palette they look really pretty, but I don't know, I guess I was so excited, and even though I saw like swatches online, I was like, I thought the swatches were beautiful, but when I got the palette in person I was just kind of disappointed by the color selection. All of the colors look a lot alike, so like these colors down here look the same. These two colors kind of look the same. These colors look the same. You just are not getting a lot of variety. And I noticed when I would apply these to my eyes, you kind of just lose the colors when you apply them and you start to blend them in. Like for instance, today I put light pewter all over the lid. I put pink nude in my crease, and then I took a little bit of cool taupe in my outer corner, and then I took this color here, which is supposed to be dark mocha. It looks like a really deep dark brown, right? Can you even tell that I'm wearing it? Like, it just kind of disappeared into the shadows, and when I applied it you could hardly even see it, and I was kind of disappointed by that. Now if you're familiar with the Lorac Pro 1 and 2 and probably the Mega Pros, you know that these shadows are very, very powdery. They kick up a lot of fallout. As you can see, I've only been working with this palette for a week or so, and it's already very, very dirty. You get some fallout on your eyes if you're not careful. And blendability wise, I just find these kind of hard to work with. I haven't used my Lorac Pro in a while, so when I was having trouble like working with these, I took that palette out just to see if maybe it was the palette, maybe if I was just not being careful enough. And I find that it was a combination of both. I was trying to use some of these deeper colors like amethyst here and dark mocha and this brown color called truffle, thinking it would make a really nice smoky eye, and I was just having such a hard time blending them. And again, you know, once you use like dark mocha, it just kind of completely disappears into your eye. So I feel like the quality on these shadows are just not as good as the original two palettes. I just feel like there's something lost in translation between the palette, your brush, and your eye. I also think that the pigmentation on these are just kind of, there's something lacking with the pigmentation. This is okay pigmentation, but it's not up to par with the original two, and I just felt like I was kind of let down by that. And I will go into swatches and talk about the individual shadows in a moment, but I just felt like, I don't know, I was expecting something fantastic from this palette, and while it is an okay palette, I'm just not excited to use it. I'm not excited when I open it up and think, oh, I can do so many looks. So far, I've only found the one look that I'm wearing today that I really like to wear with this. Other than that, I feel like I can't really do a lot with this palette, and maybe that's okay for beginners, but I feel like they're gonna have a hard time like blending some of these. I feel like since you do lose a lot of the colors in each other, they get really muddy and all look the same. I feel like new beginners with makeup are going to really struggle with that, thinking that they're getting something that they can create a lot of different looks with, and they're gonna have a hard time with it. Okay, so now that I have talked about the palette as a whole, I'm going to show you swatches, and I pulled out my beloved, much worn Lorac Pro palette to compare a few of the shadows, just because there are some similarities and I felt they were worth mentioning. The first shadow I want to talk about is Blanc. Blanc is just a very natural creamy white color. The next one is Canvas. Canvas is kind of a skin tone khaki color. You can't really see it swatched there. The next is Cool Taupe, and this is a nice taupey brown color. The next is Pink Nude. This is another nice transition color. It's kind of a pinky nude color. The next shade is Clay. This is another kind of brown color with a little bit more red into it. Next is Terracotta. Terracotta is a very orangey terracotta color. Next we have Dark Brown. Dark Brown is a deep brown color. Last for the matte row we have Jet Black. This is a charcoal black type color. I did want to compare Jet Black to the original just black in the Lorac Pro. As you can see in the Lorac Pro, it's just a very nice carbon black. And in the Lorac Pro 3, it is a much deeper black in the pan. Swatch it, you can see just how much deeper Jet Black is compared to the original black in the Lorac Pro palette. So this one's much more of a charcoal, charcoal-esque black, and this one's much more deep, much more pigmented as well. Alright, so that's it for the matte row. Let's move on to the shimmer row. Personally, I gravitate more toward the shimmers, so this is my favorite row. First one is Light Gold, and this is much more pinky and champagne than I was expecting. It's not very gold at all, and I would like to compare this to the light bronze color in the Lorac Pro, just because I feel like these two are somewhat similar, but they have just the slightest difference. So here is light bronze from the original palette, and there is light gold. Just the slightest hue difference in the way the light hits it. Next is Almond Pearl. Almond Pearl is kind of a very natural champagne all over the lid color. Next is Medallion. This is the shadow in here that disappointed me the most. It looks very pretty in the pan, like a very nice deep taupe color with a slight bronze to it, and it just does not perform very well. It's very chalky and chunky with lots of chunky glitter, and when you apply it, it goes on very patchy and just not very good. So there is Medallion. It's a bronzy taupe type color. Next is Light Pewter. Light Pewter is a very light pewter color. Again, I just want to compare this to the pewter shade here in the Lorac original palette. This one is much more deep. This one is much darker. So there is the original pewter, and this is light pewter. You can definitely see the depth cover. You can definitely see the color difference in the two. I feel like if you had both of these, there's enough difference between the two that you could justify it. Next is Amethyst. It's a very beautiful amethyst purple color. This one also kind of goes on just a little bit patchy, and I don't appreciate that. Next we have Rose Bronze. Really excited for this shade, but it doesn't perform as I'd like it to. And this is just kind of a bronze with a rose gold type hue to it. This makes it very nice all over the lid color. We have Dark Mocha. This one seems really dark in the pan, but when you apply it, it goes on a little bit lighter than I expected, and it just shears out just a tad. And lastly, we have Truffle. This is a very sheer, brownish black color. It doesn't lean one way or the other, but as you can see, it's just very sheer, very patchy, not much color payoff in the long run there. So my final thoughts are, it's okay. I'm not suggesting you run out and buy this palette by any means. If you love Lorac, if you love your Lorac Pro palette, I say just stick with your Lorac Pro. If you have the second one, stick with that one as well. I don't think you need to go out and buy this. If you're somebody who likes a more natural look, if you like to play with neutrals such as these, then this might be an okay palette for you. Just realize that you're not getting the usual Lorac eyeshadow quality that we normally pay for in these palettes. There's just kind of falling a little bit short of the bar that has been raised by the original palettes. My thoughts on the Lorac Pro palette. Let me know if you have any questions and I will answer them to the best of my abilities. And if you have this palette, let me know your thoughts. I'd be really interested to hear what you think. Please take time to like this video and hit the subscribe button so you do not miss any more videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye guys.